Hey everyone, today is February 5th, and that is a national holiday in Finland. It is Runebergin, uh, and it is to celebrate the birthday of Johann Ludwig Runeberg, who was born on this day in 1804. He was a priest and a poet and a lyricist, and he wrote the lyrics to Finland's national anthem, Maamme. He always wrote in Swedish, so the Vårt land, Swedish version of Our Land is what he wrote, but it is Finland's national anthem. So that is why this is a day that became a holiday and is celebrated. One of the other things that he is famous for is his wife would make these little tarts for him every morning, and they are called Runeberg Torttu. It's a Runeberg tart, and it is very famous throughout Finland, and particularly on this day, you can get them anywhere around this time of year, and people eat them as a way of commemorating. But some people eat them throughout the year as well. Now, what I did is I went up to the store to get a couple, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to get. So I ended up buying 3 different types and spent like 11 euros on these 6 tarts. But I thought that to make it a little bit more worth my while, I would taste them on camera and give my impressions of them. So I've got these 3 different versions. There are many others, but at the particular store I went to, there were only, I think, 4 different types on the shelf, and I got 3 of the 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open each one. I'm going to do a, I'll take a bite out of them. I'll give my opinion. I'll drink some water, and I'll move on to the next one, okay? Okay, so this one is the Satu Maista version. As you can see, it's quite large. It is the biggest one, I think, of these 3. And it has a little bit of the jam and icing stuck to the bottom, but it's relatively less of this in comparison to the rest of the tart. I don't know if there's any kind of filling. No, there's not. So this is how it's going to be. And I'll get all 3 different things into my mouth in one bite, and we'll see how this one tastes. Yeah, it's very good. The cake part is quite moist, and it goes in, and it's very easy to chew. The jam and icing together just kind of have like a pop in your mouth. It's very good. I'm not sure if this is a plum or raspberry. It might say I can't. Not really sure. It might even be like the queen or some kind of a nice fruity taste. It's good. And then the sugar icing is just kind of a sweet taste. But the cake part is very good. I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess I should give this like a rating on a scale. Maybe a scale of 1 to 5. You could say this is easily a 4, maybe a 4.5. So, all right, we'll go with pouring Lepa next. So, this is also going to be the smallest of the 3 choices, but it's not a huge difference. It's a little bit shorter and not quite as wide. It seems to have more of the icing and jam on top though. So, and already just feeling it, it feels a little less moist, like a little drier, but I don't know how it's going to be once I actually break into it. And I'm gonna pop it open like this. A lot of people like to break it in half and then kind of make like a little sandwich out of it, but I'm not gonna do that for this time. So here we go. Okay, so the cake is still moist enough. It's not as moist as the other. I think that the texture on the outside feels a little drier, but the jam has a very strong like cherry taste to it, and it's great. I personally really like this. So if I were to say that the other one was a 4, this is definitely a 4.5 to me. But that's really just because I particularly do like the way that this jam tastes. So if you're not really into cherry, it's a very strong like cherry flavor. So if you're not into that, you might not like it as much. Because the other one was more, it had a nice pop in the mouth, but it was more subtle in, you know, what it was. You could tell it was like a fruity taste, but I wasn't going, oh, it's definitely raspberry, that's definitely plum, that's definitely whatever. It's just, it's fruity. So this is very strong cherry taste. And finally, the Elonen. Okay. Very nice packaging. All right. So here we go. This one, based on size, it's about the same size as the Saltumaista. Very slightly smaller. But then it has kind of the same amount of icing as the pouring Lepa one. So it's kind of a nice in-between. Oh man, but it's like very dense. It's harder to pull it apart. All right, let's go for it. Almost get a hint of like a citrus. Maybe that was added to the jam. Certainly not as strong like cherry taste. It's more of a, you know, like fruit taste to it, like the first one. But it also, you know, it tastes very good. It complements the rest of the tart very well. And well, and actually the sugar icing has a little bit more of a flavor to it as well. So if you kind of like that extra sweetness, which I'm an American, so I like sweet stuff more than the savory. You know, I kind of like that. I think that really this is a great common ground, especially if you're, to me, I think that I would rather bite into this one than the Saltumaista. but really, they're all really good. This is also a 4.5, 4.5. My understanding is that the best place to get these is in Porterville, but that's very subjective anyway. Anyway, I do hope that you'll try these if you haven't, and tell me who makes your favorite. Excuse me. Do you make them yourself even? No? Anyway, enjoy.